many teachers who find it very difficult to incorporate technology, especially if it's not the way that they've been brought up in the classroom. If they've done things the same old way in terms of pencil, paper, perhaps an overhead slide projector or something like that. Technology's really infused throughout society. Most students coming to us at Hofstra University already are pretty savvy about the use of technology. And students in the K-12 world are already also pretty savvy about technology. And so as educators, we have to come up with ways of figuring out all the technologies that are out there, and perhaps not having to use all of them, but choosing the right technologies for the content that we're trying to teach in the classroom. So a teacher would have to ask themselves, why am I bringing in the podcast? Why am I bringing in the wiki to help me learn or help students learn a particular mathematical concept or an English concept? If you think about Google and what's happened with it as the internet has basically become a part of all of our lives, how we look at content and knowledge and the role that teachers and students play in that has really been turned upside down. The teacher and how we develop teachers and what that means to be a teacher is no longer, here's the information. Well, Google can give us that information, right? We can find that information from anywhere from first grade all the way up. And so now we have to think about what's the role of the teacher in the information age. So in my opinion, it's really the teacher has to become a facilitator in helping students to cipher through all this information and helping students to be critical of that information and to be able to evaluate all this information that's on the web. I think digital textbooks are really going to be making their way into K-12 classrooms sooner than later. For example, in California, this past fall, they're piloting this open source textbooks, saving the district, the California school system, probably around $200 million and more. It's gotten a lot of attention. And in the near future, I'd imagine other states will start jumping on board. But I think everybody's looking at California to see what's happening with this open source kind of free textbooks. But the issue, there are barriers to that, though. For example, how do you access those textbooks? So students who may not have access to technology, that's an issue. So it's a digital divide issue because you might have it in the classroom, but when we go home, do we have access to the textbook? Another issue that comes up with textbooks in general is diversity. So am I, as a student, I may be African American or Latino or Native American, am I represented in that textbook? And so that's one of the pluses I see with if we can go open source, is you can have many different people coming together and adding different resources to the textbook. The Teacher Opportunity Corps is a New York State grant-funded program that we were awarded about a year ago, and which allows us to recruit 6 minority students that are interested in teaching in high-need areas. And basically what we do is we have set up sites in the neighboring school districts, tutoring sites in neighboring school districts with these students. So they go out and they actually provide tutoring services to the students in the K-12 schools. And they're also provided with laptops, netbooks rather, and a small scholarship stipend. One of the programs that I'm really excited about that just got started is our Certificate of Advanced Study in Educational Technology. And this is a program really designed for working teachers, so teachers who already are certified, to come back and take between 15 and 18 credit hours of advanced ed tech courses. Some of the courses in that program include programming in 3D virtual environments. Another course is programming in Adobe Flash, which is the technology used to create interactive websites. So what's exciting about this is we're getting classroom teachers in, and we're really helping them to develop their tools, the technology resources to incorporate in their classroom. My favorite thing about teaching at Hofstra, I would have to say, is really interacting with the students. I think I gain a lot. I learn a lot from the students, and as we go out into the field and work in the community and whatnot, and in classrooms, I think that's perhaps the most rewarding for me.